In a world that celebrates extroversion and constant social connectivity, the Sigma male stands apart, powerful, self-sufficient, and notably, often alone. You've felt it, haven't you? That sense of disconnection, even in crowded rooms. The knowledge that while others desperately seek validation through endless social interactions, you find strength in your solitude. This isn't weakness or social awkwardness, as society might label it. This is the strategic advantage of the Sigma mindset. Welcome to the official Sigma Male channel. If you've ever wondered why your contact list remains selective while others collect friends like meaningless trophies, this video will reveal the psychological mechanics behind your natural state of being. Today, we'll explore why Sigma males operate with a carefully curated inner circle, or sometimes no circle at all, and why this is a position of power, not limitation. Before we dive deeper, remember that understanding your Sigma nature is the first step to leveraging it effectively. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready to master the psychological advantages that come with the Sigma mindset, turning what others perceive as social limitations into strategic assets. Now, let's explore the foundation of the Sigma's selective social approach. 1. The strategic solitude. The Sigma male's solitude isn't accidental, it's strategic. While alpha males build hierarchical social structures and betas seek places within them, the Sigma steps outside this game entirely, recognizing it as an inefficient use of mental resources and time. What others interpret as loneliness is actually a calculated decision to preserve your most valuable assets, your energy, focus, and independence. Research shows that the average person spends approximately 30 to 40% of their daily cognitive resources managing social relationships and seeking validation. The Sigma, by strategically limiting these connections, reallocates these resources toward self-development, skill mastery, and strategic planning. The Sigma operates in a cycle of assessment, selective engagement, retreat, and strategic return. This creates a powerful psychological advantage, an internal locus of control where your sense of value comes from within rather than external sources. Consider Elon Musk, who displays many Sigma characteristics. His ability to challenge established industries stems partly from his willingness to stand apart from consensus. Or examine Warren Buffett's approach: be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. This counterintuitive thinking requires the ability to stand apart from social consensus, a natural state for the Sigma male. Your strategic solitude also creates mystique. By not revealing your full self in casual social exchanges, you become a figure of interest. This isn't manipulation, but a natural byproduct of selective social engagement, often resulting in others seeking your attention rather than you pursuing theirs. 2. Quality over quantity principle. The average man measures social success by the number of connections he accumulates. Hundreds of social media followers, dozens of casual acquaintances, and a calendar filled with superficial interactions. The Sigma male operates on an entirely different paradigm, the quality over quantity principle. For the Sigma, a friendship isn't defined by shared activities or regular contact, but by intellectual resonance, mutual respect, and genuine value exchange. This selective approach creates profound connections that sustain themselves without constant maintenance, relationships that can resume after months of silence as if no time has passed. This principle applies a simple metric. Does this relationship enhance or drain your life force? Does this person stimulate your thinking, respect your boundaries, and offer a unique perspective? Or do they require constant emotional management, drain your energy with trivial concerns, and offer little beyond momentary distraction? By applying this filter, your social circle naturally reduces to a handful of high-quality connections. These rare relationships often form with individuals who share Sigma traits or who possess complementary strengths that create genuine synergy rather than dependency. The independence paradox. The Sigma male's independence creates a fascinating paradox. The less you need others, the more valuable your voluntary associations become. While most people form relationships out of emotional or social necessity, your connections form only when they serve a higher purpose or provide genuine enrichment. This independence frightens the average person who builds their identity around group belonging and social validation. When they encounter someone who operates outside this paradigm, who can walk away from relationships without emotional devastation, it triggers an instinctive discomfort. This discomfort manifests as attempts to pull you into conventional social patterns. Friends may complain that you're too distant or hard to reach, not understanding that your communication style is purpose-driven rather than ritual-based. Family members may worry that you're isolated when you're actually in a state of productive solitude. Your independence threatens the fundamental assumption that humans need constant connection to thrive. By demonstrating that one can be content and successful while maintaining selective social engagement, you challenge the social contracts that most people build their lives around. This paradox extends to romantic relationships as well. While others seek partners to complete them, the Sigma approaches relationships from a position of self-sufficiency. This creates relationships based on choice rather than need, a distinction that fundamentally changes the power dynamics and quality of connection. Endure, the misunderstood mindset. Society fundamentally misunderstands the Sigma male's approach to friendship. What they label as antisocial, aloof, or even arrogant is actually a sophisticated social strategy based on value optimization. The Sigma doesn't reject social connection. He rejects social inefficiency. The casual conversations about nothing, the obligatory appearances at events that serve no purpose, the maintenance of relationships that have outlived their mutual benefit, these are the social inefficiencies that the Sigma eliminates. This mindset is often misinterpreted as coldness when it's actually clarity. The Sigma sees through social performances and chooses not to participate in them. This refusal to engage in social theater can be jarring to those who've built their identities around such performances. Even more threatening is the Sigma's immunity to social manipulation. Tactics that leverage fear of rejection, appeal to group consensus, or exploit the need for approval simply don't work on someone who operates outside the conventional social hierarchy. The misunderstanding goes both ways. The Sigma sometimes fails to recognize that for many people, social rituals serve important psychological functions. The seemingly pointless office small talk, the regular friend group gatherings, the maintenance of broad but shallow social networks, these activities provide a sense of belonging and security that many genuinely need. The key is not to judge these differences, but to recognize them as different optimization strategies. The Sigma optimizes for depth, purpose, and efficiency. Others optimize for breadth, belonging, and consistency. Neither approach is inherently superior, but understanding these differences explains why the Sigma often finds himself with few friends but profound connections. 5. The high standards filter. The Sigma male's social circle remains small, partly because of an uncompromising standards filter. While most people adjust their expectations to accommodate the limitations of potential friends, the Sigma maintains consistent criteria regardless of social pressure or emotional desire. These standards aren't about superficial qualities like status or appearance. They focus on intellectual integrity, self-awareness, purposeful living, and authentic communication. These qualities are rare in a society that rewards social conformity and performative connection. Your high standards create natural isolation because they eliminate most potential connections before they begin. You quickly recognize the underlying motivations in social overtures, the neediness, the social climbing, the desire for validation, and disengage when these elements appear. This filter functions in three dimensions. Competence, can this person operate at a high level in areas that matter? Character, does this person demonstrate integrity and self-governance? And compatibility, does this person's energy and worldview align with yours without forcing either to compromise core values? When someone meets these criteria, the connection forms quickly and powerfully. Both parties recognize the rarity of the match and invest accordingly. This explains why Sigmas often have intense but few friendships. The standards filter eliminates quantity but dramatically increases quality. The practical benefit is enormous. You avoid the emotional drain, time waste, and potential betrayals that come with maintaining friendships based on convenience or social obligation, rather than genuine alignment. Emotional self-sufficiency. At the core of the Sigma's limited friendship circle lies emotional self-sufficiency, the ability to regulate your emotional state without external support or validation. While most people seek friendships partly to fulfill emotional needs, the Sigma has developed internal resources that make this aspect of friendship optional rather than essential. This self-sufficiency comes from a deep understanding of your own emotional patterns, triggers, and needs. You've learned to process difficult emotions independently, to find motivation within rather than through external encouragement, and to maintain stability regardless of external circumstances. The average person experiences emotional dependency in friendships, needing others to lift their mood, validate their choices, or provide comfort during challenges. This dependency creates social bonds, but also vulnerability and potential manipulation. The Sigma experiences emotions fully, but processes them differently. Rather than immediately seeking external support, you turn inward, analyzing the emotion, extracting its lesson, and integrating that lesson into your worldview. This internal processing creates emotional resilience that others often mistake for detachment. Your emotional self-sufficiency makes you an unusual friend. You offer genuine support without neediness, honest feedback without seeking validation. In return, and consistent presence without emotional volatility. These qualities make you invaluable to the few who appreciate them, but puzzling or even threatening to those who operate on emotional dependency. This self-sufficiency extends beyond daily emotions to life's major challenges. While others might crumble without a support network during career setbacks, relationship endings, or personal losses, you face these moments with stoic resilience, not because you don't feel the pain, but because you've developed the internal structure to weather these storms independently. Value-based connections. The Sigma male approaches relationships through the lens of value exchange, rather than social obligation or emotional need. This isn't cold calculation, but clear-eyed assessment. What genuine value do we offer each other, and is that exchange balanced and sustainable? Value in this context goes far beyond material resources. It includes intellectual stimulation, perspective, expansion, skill complementarity, mutual growth catalysis, and authentic reflection. The Sigma seeks connections that enhance both parties through meaningful exchange, rather than mutual entertainment or distraction. This value-centered approach stands in stark contrast to the obligation-based friendships that dominate society. Most people maintain relationships because of shared history, social expectation, or fear of confrontation, even when the connection no longer serves either party's growth or well-being. The Sigma regularly evaluates relationships based on current value rather than past investment. This willingness to evolve or end connections based on present reality rather than history creates fluid relationship patterns that optimize for growth rather than comfort or consistency. Your value-based approach naturally limits your friendships because most potential connections offer primarily social validation or entertainment rather than substantive exchange. The Sigma seeks relationships that challenge, inspire, and expand, qualities that require depth, self-awareness, and purpose from both parties. This value filter becomes particularly evident in professional contexts. While others build networks based on potential utility or status association, the Sigma forms alliances based on shared vision, complementary capabilities, and mutual respect. These connections may be fewer, but prove far more powerful when activated toward a common goal. The observer's advantage. The Sigma male's position outside conventional social structures creates a unique perspective advantage. By remaining on the periphery rather than embedded within social systems, you develop an observer's clarity that those entangled in social dynamics cannot access. This position allows you to see patterns that remain invisible to participants. The unspoken hierarchies, the subtle manipulations, the unacknowledged motivations that drive group behavior. You notice not just what people do, but why they do it, recognizing the psychological currents beneath social performances. This observer's advantage creates powerful insights, but further separates you from casual connection. You see too clearly the performative nature of much social interaction, the hidden agendas behind seemingly innocent questions, the status games played under the guise of friendship. Your perspective becomes both a gift and a barrier. The gift is clarity. You navigate social environments with full awareness, making strategic choices rather than reactive decisions. The barrier is shared experience. Few others see the world through this lens, creating a natural distance between your perception and theirs. This observer's position generates practical advantages in negotiation, leadership, and conflict resolution. You identify leverage points and psychological patterns that others miss, allowing you to achieve objectives with minimal friction or resistance. The Sigma leverages this observer's advantage not for manipulation, but for efficiency, creating the maximum impact with the minimum expenditure of social energy. This efficiency, born from clear observation, becomes another reason your friendships remain few but significant. Strategic communication. The Sigma male's communication style differs fundamentally from conventional social interaction, creating another filter that naturally limits friendship formation. While most people communicate to maintain connection, establish status, or fulfill social obligations, the Sigma communicates primarily to exchange value or achieve specific objectives. This purpose-driven communication appears in several distinctive patterns. First, you speak when you have something substantive to add, rather than to fill silence or signal presence. This selective contribution creates powerful impact when you do speak, but can be misinterpreted as aloofness in casual settings. Second, you prioritize clarity over comfort, willing to state uncomfortable truths when necessary, rather than maintaining pleasant illusions. This honesty attracts those with similar values, but repels those who prefer social harmony over accuracy. Third, you communicate directly rather than through social signaling or implication. While others might hint at needs or mask requests in social niceties, you state intentions and expectations clearly. This directness creates efficiency, but can feel abrupt to those accustomed to more elaborate social dances. Your communication extends beyond words to presence. The Sigma's attention is fully engaged or entirely absent. You don't pretend interest or perform attentiveness as social currency. This authentic presence creates meaningful exchanges, but eliminates the possibility of maintaining numerous shallow connections through performative engagement. This communication style naturally filters your social circle to those who value substance over form, directness over diplomacy, and depth over breadth. These individuals are rare, explaining another dimension of why the Sigma typically maintains few but significant relationships. The power of walking away. Perhaps the most defining characteristic that limits the Sigma male's friendship circle is your willingness and ability to walk away from any relationship that no longer serves its purpose. While most people remain in deteriorating connections due to sunk cost fallacy, fear of loneliness, or social expectation, the Sigma evaluates relationships based on current and future value rather than past investment. This willingness to disengage creates a powerful filtering effect. Only relationships with genuine ongoing value survive this regular assessment. Connections maintained through guilt, obligation, or habit naturally fall away, leaving only those based on mutual growth, respect, and value exchange. The power of walking away extends beyond the Sigma's own choices to influence others' behavior within relationships. When someone recognizes that you can and will disengage if the relationship becomes unbalanced or toxic, they approach the connection with greater intentionality and respect. This dynamic creates a natural selection process for high-quality relationships. Those seeking casual or extractive connections quickly recognize that such dynamics won't be tolerated and either elevate their approach or disengage. Those capable of genuine value exchange recognize a worthy counterpart and invest accordingly. Your ability to walk away stems from fundamental self-sufficiency. You don't fear solitude, but recognize it as a natural state that allows for recovery, reflection, and renewal. This comfort with being alone removes the desperation that drives many to maintain connections that no longer serve them. The power of walking away explains why many Sigmas experience periods of apparent isolation followed by the formation of intense high-value connections. These cycles reflect your unwillingness to settle for mediocre relationships during the intervals between finding rare individuals who meet your standards for meaningful connection. Understanding the strategic nature of your solitude is the first step toward embracing your Sigma identity fully. As we've explored, your limited friendship circle isn't a deficiency, but a natural consequence of your standards, self-sufficiency, and strategic approach to human connection. The 10 factors we've examined: strategic solitude, quality over quantity, independence, unique mindset, high standards, emotional self-sufficiency, value-based connection, observer's perspective, communication style, and willingness to walk away, create a powerful filtering system that naturally limits your social circle while maximizing the quality of your connections. This understanding transforms what society might label as a limitation into a strategic advantage. By maintaining few but profound relationships, you preserve your most valuable resources, time, energy, and mental focus, for pursuits that align with your purpose and vision. If this deep analysis of the Sigma mindset resonates with you, subscribe to the official Sigma Male channel now. Unlike mainstream content that merely scratches the surface of male archetypes, we provide actionable insights based on psychological principles that you can apply immediately to enhance your strategic position in life. Hit subscribe to join a community of like-minded individuals who understand that true power comes not from social validation, but from mastery of self and strategic engagement with the world.